Hey everybody, welcome back to The Why, the show where Tim and I answer all your burning questions. Today's question, wait, what was today's question?
What was today's question?
Hold on. Today's question, there it is. Today's question is from, guess who it's from, everyone?
Is it from Anonymous?
It's from Anonymous again.
Weird, so
Thank
weird.
you for sending in all the questions, Anonymous. We appreciate it. This is Anonymous asks, how does GP work? So GP stands for gross profit to start with. And it's not gross like,
Oh, that's not right. No.
but gross as in encompassing total, whole.
Yeah, gross.
Gross. How does gross profit work?
So you have the sell price,
Okay,
which is what we want customers to pay.
okay.
And we have cost.
Is that what we pay? That's the,
No,
that's
why it's
our
called
cost. Oh, cost.
Yeah, so our cost.
Okay.
So we have our cost and we have our sell.
Okay.
So what we pay to the manufacturer.
Cost.
Cost.
Okay.
And what we sell
Okay.
to the customer.
The customer.
The customer. And when you subtract the cost from the sell, you get profit.
Oh, profit.
And from that gross profit, you then use that money to pay for all of the things like the cost of having a truck, the cost of having an IT department, the cost of having buildings and annual sales meetings and all of the things, pens, and paper.
This shirt.
That shirt. Actually, I think we charged you for that shirt.
They did. It was my cost.
It was your cost, so that was, riddle me this. We have a cost of $100, we'll use round numbers, and we have
It's a big number.
a sell of $120. We just created $20 in gross profit.
That's the money we made. The profit
Yes.
is money we made.
I don't think that's what they asked, though.
No.
Is that what you think they were after, or were they after how to compute gross profit
I'm not
margin?
sure. How do you
then
figure out
pay-
how do you figure out the percentage though? That's not
Like, what's
that's
the
not a thing. You
percentage?
can't figure that out,
You
right?
can. It's a wicked formula. I think if you look at the screen kind of all around us right now,
Yeah.
I think maybe
see
through the magic
everything.
of television,
It seems confusing.
I know there's a lot of it. Gross profit percentage is figured by sell minus cost, and then you divide it by sell, right? So $20 divided by $120 then gets you the gross profit percentage. Now remember though, we don't put percentages in the bank, we put dollars in the bank. So don't get too hung up on percentages. I realize we use those to
Mind blown
pound our
right there.
chest and be like the big person on campus and stuff like that. Like, I got this gross profit percentage. You didn't, but it's about dollars.
Was that were you talking right to me on that?
I was.
I was kind of
When I said big, I didn't.
I was sort of a showboat about gross
fine.
profit. Yeah, sorry.
So was I back in the day.
Take that, Texas.
You just called out
I
Texas.
did.
I know.
I love you, Dustin and
I
Ryan.
know.
So we just had a question, a fun why from the why, question from the peanut gallery of how would I know as a salesperson what gross profit margin I should charge an individual customer?
I think the simple answer to that is there's no perfect price. You're either too high or you're too low. When you give that price, hopefully you've done all of the pre-call planning homework necessary. Now in a very fluid environment like territory sales, and they want 12 of these and 6 of those and 2 of those and 3 of those, that's already been determined. That pricing is somewhat static in the system. It's when they order something that is above and beyond what they normally order, or they say, hey, give me a price on a new blender, a new food processor, or a new something, right? When they do that, they've already determined a price in their head. They've done the research. We don't own any of that data anymore. You can find prices for anything that we sell on the internet, right? Yeah, welcome to the magic of phones. So because of that, that's where all those other components come in that we talked about in terms of being our recipe of all of the different available menu items, right? The AR, the next day delivery, and the big distribution center, and the trucks, and all those components. So I'm a firm believer that there is no right price. You are either too high or you're too low. So when you float that price, hopefully you've done your homework and you've recognized all of the different places on the internet, all the different competition, you know exactly where you think you can be, and you float it out and you try it. And if their answer is, oh my gosh, is that it? That's perfect. You were too low. If they go, oh my God, what? You were too high. But I don't believe that there's a right price. It's up to you to figure out customer, by product, what the right price is, and find exactly the perfect line.
I like that.
How's that for a very around the barn answer?
And to be fair, it's different in contract, in my mind.
Agreed.
The way I always kind of went with it was, I believe for the amount of effort and time and energy you put into being the hand-holding tour guide through the entire project for the GC and the owner and all the architecture.
Yeah, that's all worth something.
Is that 20 to 25% GP was a fair margin to be at for all the work that you're doing. Sometimes it's a little higher than that, sometimes it's a little lower than that based on the circumstances, like Tim said. My concern, honestly, and it really doesn't happen that often, is when people go too high. Instead of the 25%, it's 60%. Because the customer's ignorant and doesn't know, that will catch up to you.
Yeah, that's taking advantage.
You don't want to take advantage. That's why I feel like for me, when I was in contract sales, that was where I felt was a fair price to the customer, where they were winning for all that they were getting from us and me, and where I was winning because I was making a decent wage, and it was that happy spot for me.
I think there's a fundamental component there, though, too, that we're not talking about, and that component is that we